your shadow, your past, your present, and your future.
Tubu. Nishina shida manu.
Wamemnyima degree.
Tulia.
Nimefurahi Josh amerudi. Sasa fukuzwa shule tena.
Ni nini mbaya naye? Unataka kuniua?
Hii ni public place. Naweza kuingia na kutoka vile nataka. Niko tatu kulia Robert. Wow.
It is indeed 11/11/2025. Good afternoon and a warm welcome to KBC Lunchtime News. My name is Njue and my colleague on the sign language interpretation is Madam Njoroge. We begin with politics, where the National Council of Churches of Kenya has cautioned the political class against early campaigns, divisive politics and incitement ahead of the November 27th by-elections and the 2027 general election. The clergy say the leaders should instead focus on preaching unity and delivering services and development for Kenyans. This and more stories in our political news roundup.
Kilifi County, the National Council of Churches of Kenya slammed some politicians who they said were spewing hate, warning that such can plunge the country into chaos, especially in the electioneering period.
Quite regrettably, politicians and aspirants have embarked on early campaigns for the 2027 general elections despite them being 2 years away. Worse still, these campaigns are riddled with hate speech, radicalization and other forms of public incitement.
The religious leaders also challenging the electoral body IBC to focus on building trust with Kenyans ahead of the elections.
We need participation, we need involvement. We also need it to be able to be acceptable in the right mandate ya how the by-elections are being done. So tunaomba usawa, tunaomba inclusion.
We demand that the members of parliament for our counties to stop speaking in barriers and instead go to parliament and revoke the oppressive laws that have been passed in the recent past. The citizens are watching and will use this as a determinant in the coming elections.
These as ODM leaders in Kilifi County, led by Governor Gideon Mungaro and Kaloleni MP Paul Katana, intensified campaigns for Magarini parliamentary contest on 27th of November.
Mimi baro yangu hicha kama location. Kama mtapakura kwembe, ndio itakuwa mara ya kwanza hii kunibaga.
Sasa tarehe 27 tumregeshe Harrison Garama Kombe arudi kama mbunge wa chama cha ODM.
In Homa Bay, County Commissioner Ronald Mwiwawa urged the clergy to lead efforts in calming tensions in Kasipul constituency following rising political tension between supporters of ODM candidate Boyd Were and independent candidate Philip Aroko.
I'm also asking our political leaders, anytime you have your supporters, don't use your supporters to turn against other supporters.
In Isiolo County, leaders slammed a section of politicians and a section of residents, calling for the dissolution of the county government of Isiolo, barely months after the failed impeachment of Governor Abdi Guyo.
Serikali mulisimama saa 11 kwa laini mukajenga, na wengine wanasema kwa sababu wanataka kuchukua power through back door. Mtu anataka bila kutembea, bila kutafuta, bila kuomba.
Kuna watu wanatoka hapa wakienda Nairobi kwa rais kwa niaba ya wana Isiolo. na hawa watu hawako na viongozi wa Isiolo. Mnakubaliana na wao? Hebu nionyesheni kwa mkono hamkubaliani na hawa viongozi.
Giverson Minor, Lunchtime News.
Very well, to our next story, we cross over to Uhuru Gardens. That is the venue of the 25th edition of the East Africa Trade Fair that has been going on since morning, and we have been keeping our eyes peeled for that. Regina Manyara, my colleague, has been keeping tabs with a number of PSs, including the PS for MSME, the PS for the trade and investment, and also the PS in charge of East Africa Community. Let's first of all get that engagement. Good afternoon, Regina. Kindly bring us up to speed with what is happening at the trade fair.
Good afternoon to you, Ben Troy. As you said, we have been keeping tabs on this week-long exhibition that is not only bringing close together traders across the East African community, but we have also expanded it to various African states in bid to just take advantage of the already laid down protocols looking at the African Continental Free Trade Area, the EAC in as far as a trading bloc, and to just put on the map, you know, MSMEs who have been said to be drivers of the economies across these particular blocks. But the question is, what has been hindering MSMEs from fully taking, their role, or rather their place when it comes to social economic development? And this particular exhibition is going to be launched not too long by His Excellency President William Ruto, who is the chief guest. But before long, let's hear from the drivers of this particular exhibition. That is the 25th EAC MSME exhibition being held right here in Kenya. Now, I'm going to introduce PS Susan Mangeni, who's in charge of MSME development, basically our host for this 1 week, to just bring us up to speed from yesterday. What are the key highlights that you have noted, and what are the areas that, those who are exhibiting want more prioritized, or rather prioritized?
Thank you so much, and first of all, let me appreciate for giving me this opportunity, and also for coming here so that you can get to interact with our MSMEs who have turned out in big number. So first of all, let me say that we are hosting over 3,000 MSMEs drawn from across the 8 member states of East African Community. We are celebrating 25 years of integration, which also comes along with these very important activities that creates a marketplace where MSMEs from across the region can congregate and share with each other, showcase their innovative value chain, while also gaining from knowledge and experience from their counterparts across the member state. So, but let me say, this time round, Kenya is hosting for the 7th time. The last time we hosted was in 2018, and it was in Eldoret County, but we've seen much improvement. In fact, this is the most improved trade fair ever since it was founded in 1999 as a side event during the historical signing of the treaty that established the East Africa Community. So this time round, we decided to flavor this event with a high-level strategic conversation, looking at some of the issues that continue hindering our MSMEs from growing, and seeing how well can we unlock them. Yesterday was Kenyans Day, and we jointly hosted the day with the International Trade Center, who are coming to open up the regional hub for Africa again in Nairobi, Kenya. Providing another enhanced opportunities for our MSMEs to knock at the global market. So then we were also privileged to have the participation of the Secretary General of AfCFTA, His Excellency Wamukele Mene, to share opportunities under the AfCFTA framework, so that now we can take this market from just East Africa. We start looking on how to also gain entry into the emerging frontiers in Africa, as well as the global trade. So some of the challenges that yesterday were being talked about, and we had key actors, policymakers, my colleagues here were also in the panel, and we had experts also, were number one, how do we unlock access to financing? Because this has been one of the major challenges. Yes, my colleague here, and he will be also sharing with you, she's really knocking on the doors on the global market every day and night. But it's one thing to sign those pacts, it's another thing now to maximize on those. But then MSMEs are saying they are getting difficulties in accessing trade financing. So those were some of the conversation that we're looking into yesterday and seeing how easy can we make these MSME access financing so that they can take up these opportunities. The other challenge that came out yesterday and which has been common is that we are fast, in terms of technology, we are really globalizing. So we're growing in terms of technology. However, MSMEs, most of them are still are still struggling to catch up. So the need for accelerating digital transformation among MSME came up because the world now is a global village. You can call it a global market. You want to sell your product. You want your product to reach every part of this world. But then you need to be technologically savvy. You need, you need to be able to access affordable digital devices. Then, of course, the whole challenges around the climate change and the call on moving towards green economy. Again, adaptation to that end is also a major challenge on our MSMEs. So again, those were some of the conversation. And we brought that high-level conversation because we need the outcome of that conversation now to be cascaded to the heads of state summit so that then we can now start coming up with concrete solution of addressing and creating an enabling environment to support the growth of MSMEs.
Right.
Not just in Kenya, but in the entire region.
That is good. That is from the MSME point of view. You're in charge of MSME development and basically our host. Now let's hear, when it comes to matters of trade, there's a question that was raised among those who are taking to the podium, and it's the issue of harmonization of policies when it comes to standards. Your take on that?
Thank you very much. My namesake, Regina, and I just want to say that this event is actually a major one to us. I have walked through the exhibition booths and seen the level of talent and the level of creativity that is in the continent, particularly in the East African region. And the first question I asked myself, how are these exhibitors protected in terms of whatever they are doing? How are we ensuring that it is patented? At the same time, I asked myself a very pertinent question, that who is really helping them grow in terms of really picking up that talent and then scaling it up for purposes of it to be competitive in the big global market. And that's where, it comes in when the question of standards came into being. And it took me also with a lot of concern that this could actually be a barrier to the free trade that we want to make sure that this group of people experience and benefit from. Because if we start ensuring that standards are not harmonized, and for that one product that is produced in DRC, if it is good to go through Uganda, it has to be checked after the standards in DRC have been approved. Then it gets to Kenya, it has to be checked again. You can imagine all those blocks that happen to somebody who's young, upcoming, and would really like to see things moving.
That has been Regina Manyara there, my colleague, engaging the PSs, especially those who have been able to attend that conference. That is indeed the 25th Trade and Investment Conference, bringing together 8 countries and over 3,000 exhibitors. I've been able to pick something that they are keen on in regards to this conference, the challenges of climate change, not to mention smart agriculture technologies and the use of artificial intelligence. Moving on, a section of leaders from Lugari constituency in Kakamega County have cautioned residents against politicizing the mysterious death of Monyuki PAG Secondary School Principal Simon Isiaho. The leaders condemned the spread of unverified information about the incident, warning that such actions could interfere with ongoing investigations. Chekalini member of the County Assembly, Titus Kwoma, said security agencies are investigating the matter and the public should remain calm as authorities work to uncover the truth.
Penda kuwashauri wanasiasa haswa wale washirika wa gavana wa kaunti ya Kakamega wawache kuingilia hayo masuala, ili tupe nafasi vyombo vya usalama kufanya uchunguzi wa kina, so that the culprits are brought to book. Kwa hivyo natoa mwito kwa wanasiasa wasiweke siasa kwa mambo ya kifo ya mwalimu mkuu wa shule ya upili ya Munyuki. Najua hiki kifo cha ndugu yetu mwalimu mkuu wa Munyuki ni piko kubwa kwa jamii pana ya Lukari na Likuyani. But vile ningependa kuwashauri wale viongozi ambao wanahusikana na hizi trade unions za walimu ya kwamba ni vyema tupe maafisa wa DCI nafasi wafanye kazi yao. Let us not interfere with the investigations.
And from Kakamega to Mandera County, where the county government has launched the emergency drought response relief food aid distribution to affected population in the region. While flagging off the consignment, area Governor Mohammed Khalif said a total of 235 tons of rice and edible oil will be distributed to 15,000 vulnerable households in the county. The governor assured Mandera residents that no deserving cases would be left out. He further said the county emergency team from Special Program and National Drought Management Authority will evaluate the drought risks and release a full report on current situation on Thursday this week.
Tusipofanya distribution, tuangalie wale ambao wameathiriwa zaidi. Najua mahitaji ni mingi na kila mtu anahitaji msaada, lakini tuangalie wale wako wameathiriwa zaidi na wale wa mayatima, na tutaendelea kumonitor the situation of the drought. On Thursday we're going to have the county steering group. We're going to deliberate on this issue, and we are waiting for the report from the National Drought Management Authority on the status of the drought on Thursday, and then we're going to make a comprehensive statement then.
Elsewhere, the Senate Committee on Health has called on the Kiambu County government to introduce redundancy measures in the hospital management systems at the Kiambu Level 5 hospital to prevent delays and long queues experienced by patients. Speaking during an inspection tour of the Kiambu Level 5 and Karuri Level 4 hospitals, Committee Chairperson Senator Jackson Mandago expressed concern over frequent system downtimes that slow down patient admission and treatment processes.
The health facility here is holding so many people, but that notwithstanding, we need to do something to upgrade the facilities so that at least it can be at par with other counties. We have agreed the next supplementary budget that will be the next couple of months. We are going to put money for a new incinerator so that at least we upgrade what we have. The other issue is about the teenage pregnancies, where we have gotten, there are so many teenage girls who have babies at the ward. We have a challenge with SHAP because they could not be captured because they don't have ID. But we have all agreed, the hospital administration together with the Department of Health will be able to get a unique number that will be able to capture that. But before then, they'll be released as you continue with the other process.
Ningependa kuambia wafanyikazi wa kaunti ya Kiambu na haswa wa hospitali hii, ni nyinyi mchukue jukumu pia, kwa sababu governor amewapa kazi. At least muweze kuensure ile kidogo ipo mnaweza kuutilize maximumly. Ukiona wagonjwa wote wanafurika hapa, kuna ile sababu inawaleta hapa, na inaweza kuwa ni zile services wao wenyewe wanapata. Lakini zile mambo tumeona ambayo inaweza rekebishwa, irekebishwe. Ma MCS pia niwape challenge. Haiwezi kuwa sisi ndio tunakuja kuonesha kwamba pipa la taka limejaa pale. Kwenye nyinyi mnashangaa vile sisi pia tuwashangaa. Mchukue jukumu mfanye oversight kabla sisi tufike.
The news, Kenya is collaborating with Canada on mutually beneficial skills development, labor mobility and migration governance. Labor and Skills Development Principal Secretary Shadrach Mwadime says the initiative targets health, education and construction sectors. The PS spoke when he hosted a delegation of the provincial government of New Brunswick, led by the Deputy Minister of Post-Secondary Education, Training and Labor, Daniel Mills.
Made to understand that the medical sector in Canada is in need of a number of nurses, doctors, technicians, health technicians, and the like. And the same also with the construction industry. They are in need of masons, they are in need of electricians, and various other professions that obtain in the construction sector. So with all these opportunities opening up, Kenya would wish to capitalize on the same.
We have a need for labor, and we understand in Kenya there is in some cases a surplus of labor. We have a very old demographic in New Brunswick. Our average age is 45. I understand the average age in Kenya is much below 35, and in many cases is 18 or 19. So we're here to explore partnerships between healthcare professions, skilled trades and construction, as well as education and early childhood educators.
And still on empowerment, vulnerable children in Rachuonyo Sub-County, Homa Bay County are finding new hope through a church-led initiative aimed at protecting and empowering them. Redeemed Gospel Church Oyugis, in partnership with Compassion International, is working to address child abuse, neglect and poverty in the region. Vulnerable children in Rachuonyo say they face many challenges, from molestation and child labor to the violation of their basic rights. But a local church has stepped in to offer support and restore hope. Children who spoke on condition of anonymity shared stories of neglect, violence and exploitation. They say the program has created a safe space where they can express themselves and learn how to stay safe.
They tend to have so much abuse and neglect at home. So for us to eradicate this one, we have to train both the children and also their caregivers. Some of them go through this neglect and abuse, but how to report and where to report, they don't know. So when we take them through the trainings, we tell them what steps to take for the reporting of the cases within the community and even in schools.
The project has helped the children to have good space that they can express themselves and help them to know their rights, and having child protection sessions where children are taught about their rights.
To the coast now, where communities around the Mida Creek ecosystem in Watamu are reaping the benefits of conservation efforts 4 years after the launch of the annual Watamu Conservation Festival. The festival brings together environmental organizations, government agencies and local fishermen to promote sustainable fishing and mangrove restoration. Organizers say awareness campaigns have led to better fishing practices and a significant increase in mangrove cover. Environmentalists credit the formation of the Mida Beach Management Unit for empowering fishermen to take part in data collection and conservation planning.
Net, and the inches were 2 inches. So from that, we were able to see with the catch that they have received today, yes, cotton fishing net without the monofilament. It's true that it can work, and now it has promoted awareness even more because of the catch that we've gotten. So through these discussions, through these meeting engagements, we are able to come together and find decision making in a better way.
The fishermen were on the forefront of planning, so that showed that they are taking this and they're owning this, and this now belongs to them, and that is such a beautiful thing to see. If we can, as NGOs, taking a step back and letting them take the lead is such a crucial thing. Then that means even when it comes to decision making, they quite understand what is happening. Other than that, we can even see this year they decided to participate in data, which we call it Data Camp, and they were presenting their data from January to now.
Moving on, medics in the country have reassured patients that the nuclear medical procedure is safe for cancer treatment. According to the expert, the use of nuclear energy for cancer treatment targets the tumor and treats it before it spreads, unlike the conventional method. The assurance was made by cancer experts who convened at the Kenyatta University Teaching, Referral and Research Hospital for a training forum on the safe use of nuclear energy for cancer treatment.
Please let us appreciate them.
Oncologists and medics meeting at Kenyatta University Teaching, Referral and Research Hospital have asked patients in Kenya not to be scared of the use of nuclear therapy to treat cancer, noting that it's safe and more effective than conventional medicine. The procedure known as theranostic, which involves injection of radioactive medicine into the cancer tumors, is the first ever to be conducted at a Kenyan hospital and in the East African region.
There is a very safe way of application of nuclear, and that is what is important for us. We are not into war, so we want to apply nuclear energy to treat and address our disease burden.
Head of nuclear medicine at the KUTRRH Molecular Imaging Center treatment, Dr. Harish Nagaraj, said the procedure takes about 4 to 6 cycles to treat a patient. However, he acknowledged the need for government and donors to support patients in meeting the high cost of the procedure, which is currently 1.3 million shillings.
Because if we have a newer kind of molecule which is helping the patients, it might actually be beneficial both for the country, the Ministry of Health, because the amount of money is spent on cancer treatment, you need to see the outcomes. If the outcomes are not good, then staying with the same kind of treatment is not so wise. So,
Dr. Yankin Klehans and Professor Jan Zivat, both of the International Atomic Energy Agency in South Africa, similarly reiterated the safety of the nuclear cancer medicine.
No, it's really very safe, and it just goes to the tumor, which is really great, and everything else is excreted out of the body. So if it's not in the tumor, it goes outside of the patient, and also after a week the patient is no longer radioactive, so it doesn't stay in the body. This is the beauty, but it works for 2 months afterwards.
Joseph Ohungu for Lunchtime News.
Very well, it's about 27 minutes past the top of the hour. We are due for a fast break, but when we come back, I'll still run you through a couple of more stories. Then we get business news, and later on we get sporty in the sports world. Don't go away.
What can I do for you? I'm Marcelo Escalante's mother. This is to teach you to stay away from an engaged man.
Who does she think she is? To come here to my house and yell at me? Oh, please, don't be a hypocrite. Since when did you care about me?
I can't stand this girl.
Don't you remember?
Remember what?
Oh, really? But don't you remember when Rodrigo ran away from the church and left Lucia there?
Welcome back. You're watching Lunchtime News from the Broadcasting House here in Nairobi. Moving on, a standoff has ensued between the national government agencies and Ongata Rongai residents of a plan to construct affordable houses on Nakil Community Stadium land. Dejected locals claim that the stadium covers about 16.5 acres following an official survey, and that donors are ready to help construct the stadium once the land ownership dispute in court are resolved.
Watu ambao wamepanga kuchukua Ngaimurunya Secondary School 3 acres na kuchukua Ongata Rongai Primary School about 14 acres waweze kujenga affordable housing. Na sisi kama wakilishi ambao tuko hapa na sisi ambao tunasimamia, tunasema hatutakubali mtu yote ambao ataweza kukuja ili aweze kugawa hii kiwanja.
Watu wa community tunakataa na tunasema hiyo booth irudishwe hapa kwa kiwanja. Ama kama haitarudishwa, tungoje ile kesi iko kotini, kwa sababu kotini kesi ilishakatwa na ikasemekana hiyo shule inafaa kurudi kwa uwanja.
We are fully prepared to hold a peaceful demonstrations to defend our community land and protect the interest of our youth. The Nakil Community Stadium must remain a public space for sport, growth and opportunity, not a private interest.
Elsewhere, the national and county governments have been urged to support women entrepreneurs to be self-sustainable. The clarion call was made during the official launch of a program dubbed Elevate Her in Kakuma, Turkana County, a transformative program designed to uplift women and young girls through entrepreneurship, skills training, and sustainable livelihood. The Women Empowerment Program, which is being undertaken by UN Refugee Agency, UNHCR, HACO, and Nemlon Training Institute, aims to turn empowerment into a tangible impact in some of Kenya's most underserved regions.
Women acquire skills through vocational training programs, but often find themselves without the means or networks to transition into sustainable enterprise. Elevate Her seeks to bridge that gap by supporting women to move from training to transformation.
The launch and the rollout of the project is a testament of our common commitment to expand partnership with private sectors in the provision of solutions to refugees and host community in Kakuma municipality.
Ni mradi ambao unafaa sana. Tuwape wa vijana nafasi ya kujifunza, nafasi ya ajira, nafasi ya kujitegemea.
In education, junior secondary school teachers in Trans Nzoia County have taken to the streets of Kitale demanding permanent and pensionable employment terms. The teachers say they are tired of working under contract conditions with low pay and no job security. Led by Kupet Women Representative Immaculate Cheserem, the teachers accuse the government of neglecting their welfare despite their crucial role in implementing the competency-based education. The educators lamented that their current salaries are too low to meet their basic needs.
Dada ndugu ambao wanawategemea. Hawa ni walimu ambao walisoma na walisoma kama walimu wengine. Kwa hivyo maslahi yao kukuwa confirmed lazima ihakikishe imetimiwa na serikali.
We want to inform the government of Kenya to put the Teacher Service Commission into order. 17,000 Kenyan shillings is not enough to sustain a teacher and their families for a whole month. Hiyo pesa 17,000 hata iwezi tosha mwalimu kwenda shuleni na kurudi kila mwezi.
The advert should come out as soon as possible. Next year, no STEM, no confirmation, no STEM.
In other news, civil society organizations from Southwest Indian Ocean counties have renewed calls for governments in the region to enforce existing fisheries policies to curb illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing, a growing menace threatening the region's blue economy. Speaking during a regional workshop in Mombasa County, Doreen Simiu, coordinator of the Southwest Indian Ocean Tuna Forum, said that stronger enforcement of fisheries law would help safeguard marine resources and uplift coastal communities that rely heavily on fishing.
I believe if our countries implement some of the resolutions that are happening at regional level, for instance, IOTC, if our countries implement the minimum terms and conditions, we know that as a country we'll enjoy the benefits of sustainable blue economy, and that we'll benefit as a country. And if a country benefits, it means the local communities, it means the fishers will enjoy the socio-economic benefits.
What is in the implementation framework of the plan of action to address IUU fishing? I believe the loopholes that have led to significant losses through these illegal fishing activities will be addressed, and the country will benefit a lot, and the fisheries sector will contribute significantly.
From Mombasa City to Nakuru City, where rising water levels in Lake Naivasha continue to wreak havoc around it, shutting down key conservation facilities and threatening livelihoods. Businesses are counting losses running into millions of shillings, while wild animals have been driven into nearby estates, sparking fears of human-wildlife conflict.
The swelling waters of Lake Naivasha shows no signs of retreating, and neither is the destruction in their path easing. The latest victims, the multi-million shillings Wildlife Research and Training Institute's Wetland Research Center and several hippo camps, now submerged and completely out of operation. Inside the compound, frantic efforts have been underway, staff racing to salvage valuable research equipment and years' worth of scientific material. The institute says losses now run into millions of shillings, with the extent of the damage still being assessed and operations ground to a standstill.
It's affected our revenue stream because this is where we have the largest camping site in Naivasha. We have been forced to close it. Heavy investment by government. Now that investment is underwater. We're in the process now of trying to salvage the scientific equipment that are in the office furniture.
Lost quite a substantial ground or habitats for wildlife around the lake. So that translocation is ongoing. And one of the release sites is the Naivasha Wildlife Sanctuary, where we are headquartered, and also Nairobi National Park.
Residents and conservationists fear this is only the beginning, as farmlands, homes and vital government infrastructure are threatened by the lake's expansion beyond historical limits.
The ecological character of Lake Naivasha has been interfered with. The bird species that were there, they have to migrate, they will not wait. And we are now doing intensive monitoring to see how that character, to the extent that it has happened, which species have migrated.
Experts warned that climate and ecological shifts could make these flooding episodes more frequent and more severe, and called for urgent long-term intervention measures.
What I'm calling for is to call for experts. I think we need geologists now to pin down exactly and work with us to try and address the mitigation measures. It doesn't look like this phenomenon will end.
If you see how it is moving, it is not like a flood water. Where you are standing, you see both sides is flooded, and if it was rainwater, we could be having flooding here. But what it does, it seeps underground and softens it, and then if you look closely, you'll see it's like springing.
Authorities say assessments are ongoing, with emergency mitigation plans expected in the coming days. For Lunchtime News, I am Teresa Mutai.
But well, time to make sense of shillings and cents in business. Cooperatives Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya says a committee of experts on SACCO reforms has proposed amendments to the SACCO Act to ease mergers in a bid to bring more SACCOs under regulation in efforts to protect member deposits.
Of savings and credit cooperative societies with a few members and a small asset base might be forced to merge if amendments proposed by the Committee of Experts on SACCO reforms are adopted. Cooperatives Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya is rooting for the mergers, arguing that it will ensure more SACCOs are brought under the regulation of the SACCOs and Society Regulatory Authority (SASRA), and they create a bigger asset base to service members' needs.
If all Mwalimu SACCOs was one, because what happened, Mwalimu SACCO was one, and then now districts, when districts came up, each district now split to have its own SACCO. You go to Kisumu, you'll find a Siaya SACCO, they have their name, Walimu Huko, and Jinalao.
Oparanya says smaller SACCOs are not economically viable due to their high operational costs.
The problem we have had in Kenya is that every village comes up with a SACCO, which is not even financially viable.
To help our cooperatives pool resources together and put them in banks that will give us good interest rates. Now,
in a raft of reforms, agriculture-based SACCOs are set for stricter regulations to enhance efficiency.
Agricultural sector is the big one, and that has been the major problem, because the agricultural sector issues of governance is a very big challenge, and I'm happy that this is being addressed in the new bill that is before the Parliament.
Benson Rioba reporting for Lunchtime News.
Elsewhere, thousands of acres of rangeland have been identified for fodder production to address animal feed shortage. According to John Maina, who is in charge of livestock production in the Ministry of Agriculture, says the target is to produce forage to feed 30 million livestock.
To address the 50% animal feed deficit in Kenya, the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock has identified rangeland for fodder production. The identified land has potential to produce up to 80 million metric tons of forage, an increase from the current 15 million tons.
So when you talk about 40 million hectares, if you give a modest estimate of production of about 200 bales of hay, and hay I mean grass and browse, so we can produce up to 60, 70, 80 million metric tons of forage that is useful for livestock.
The government is also exploring increasing cotton and sunflower production as a strategy of reducing animal feed costs.
We are going to do the issue of oil crops production. The oil crops production, cotton, sunflower, they were all targeted to touch on the reduction of cost of feeds so that we don't import most of the materials.
He was speaking in Naivasha during a regional workshop on strengthening animal feed and rangeland security in pastoral regions in the Horn of Africa region. Sylvia Gatti for Lunchtime News.
Now, SBM Bank Kenya has bounced back to profitability, posting 412 million in net profit during the first 9 months of this year, up from a net loss of Kenya shillings 1.3 billion shillings reported during a similar period last year. The profit was mainly driven by net interest income that nearly doubled from 1.41 billion shillings to 2.76 billion shillings.
SBM Bank Kenya increasing the stock of loans and advances to customers from 44 billion shillings to 45.73 billion shillings. Despite the increase, interest income on loans and advances to customers reduced from 4.63 billion shillings to 4.4 billion shillings. Higher interest income from investment in government securities helped lift the total interest income to 8 billion shillings, up from 7.7 billion shillings earned during a similar period in 2024.
And this has largely been driven by a 65% increase in operating income
which grew from 2.6 billion last year to 4.3 billion this year. So it's quite so we can say that our turnaround is actually taking shape now.
On the other hand, total operating expenses reduced 3.5% in what the lender attributes to prudent cost management and enhanced operational efficiency.
So we've had equal contributions from all of our segments and products, and this is driven by a much more stable system, a lot more innovation going on as well. So be it consumer, corporate, business banking, all of them have contributed to these results.
Gross non-performing loans and advances increased to 16.7 billion shillings, up from 14.4 billion shillings a year ago.
We've also launched the fractional trading on Eurobonds. Now, Eurobonds are normally traded in the international markets in lot sizes of $200,000, but with SBM, you can get into that market, if that's appropriate for you, for as low as $5,000.
Total assets increased from 97.5 billion shillings to 104.0 billion shillings, while customer deposit rose 20% to 75.2 billion shillings.
Further afield, the U.S. Senate has passed a crucial funding bill that could bring the longest government shutdown in history to an end within days. The bill passed in a 60-40 vote, with nearly all Republicans joining 8 Democrats who splintered from the party to approve it. The deal funds the government until the end of January. Here are the details of these and other stories in our business news roundup.
The House of Representatives will now have to pass the bill before President Donald Trump can sign into effect. Trump signaled he would be willing to do so earlier on Monday. The deal came to fruition over the weekend after some Democrats joined Republicans and negotiated an agreement to get federal employees back to work and essential services restarted. Many government services have been suspended since October, and around 1.4 million federal employees are on unpaid leave or working without pay. Meanwhile, goods coming to Gaza are insufficient and unaffordable to ordinary people, even 1 month after the peace agreement was reached between Israel and Hamas. The shortage of supplies within Gaza persists due to Israel military restrictions on the opening of crossings and access to aid. The essential things such as eggs, chicken, and red meat are unaffordable to ordinary people, as prices are 3 to 5 times higher than before the war. Many people say goods on the shelves are not urgently needed, but the vitally needed basic supplies are too expensive to buy. Finally, the rate of UK unemployment has risen to 5% in 3 months to September, showing signs the job market has weakened. It is the highest rate since 2021. Average wage growth was 4.6% in the third quarter, down from 4.7% over the 3 months to August. Data shows nearly 1.7 million people are claiming unemployment benefits, a slight decrease on the figure from a year ago. The number of job vacancies have remained unchanged, with about 723,000 between August and October 2025.
And in sports, at Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani will play host to the World Taekwondo Under-21 Championship from the 3rd to the 6th of next month, with over 100 athletes from 65 nations expected to compete. The global event marks a major milestone for Kenya as it positions itself as a hub for international martial arts competition.
A
According to Kenya Taekwondo Federation President Suleiman Sumba, the tournament will not only focus on supporting excellence, but will also promote environmental sustainability.
Kenya is ready to host this World Championship. We had the World Taekwondo inspectors over the weekend. They came in Kenya, they did a thorough inspection, and they gave us a thumbs up to organize this event.
Organizers plan to plant over 15,000 trees by the end of the championship as part of their efforts to champion eco-friendly sport initiatives.
Our role in this championship is to make sure that we uphold the legacy and sustainability of this championship through climate action.
Team Kenya, comprising of 16 athletes, is set to depart for Cote d'Ivoire for a 2-week build-up camp ahead of the event. Sumba also called on sponsors to support the national team's preparation, emphasizing the need to adequate resources to ensure a strong performance at home.
These are the future Olympics. Los Angeles Games, we are starting to prepare now. And most of the world that are coming here are preparing their youth to participate in the coming Olympic Games.
The Kenyan continent will be seeking to build on their recent success in Kampala, Uganda, where they dominated the Korea Taekwondo Championship. The men's team bagged 5 gold medals, while the women clinched 6 gold medals, 2 silver and 1 bronze.
It was a good build-up match before we go for our training in Ivory Coast for 2 weeks, preparing for the World Taekwondo Championship, which will be held here in Kenya. And the team has a positive mind, and we are planning, and we are going to get good results.
Me and my team, we are feeling very proud for letting the game in Kenya, World Under-21 Championship in Kenya. We are feeling very happy.
We just showed Kenya and the world in the concluded weekend games in Uganda. We are the best. Just look at these trophies. We are the best. And what do you expect from that? We expect medals, wins, and we are ready for the games in December.
The performance reaffirmed Kenyan growing stature in the sport. As anticipation built for the upcoming tournament, Kenya is gearing up not just to host the world, but to make a statement both on the mat and in its commitment to a greener sporting future. For Lunchtime News, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
Elsewhere, the battle for slots in the Women Basketball Africa League heats up this afternoon at the Njue National Stadium, Nairobi. Zitech University will be out to bounce back and register their first win of the tournament, while they square out with Rwanda. And finally, Kenya Esports Federation has received a sponsorship boost following inking of a partnership deal worth $500,000 shillings with 82 sports ahead of the forthcoming Digital football tournament scheduled for December the 6th in Nairobi. A total of 16 teams have already enlisted for the second edition of the championship, whose winner will qualify for the 2026 Games of the Future in Astana, Kazakhstan. Digital football combines physical athleticism and digital gameplay, blending real world and virtual performance.
Digital entails playing the physical and digital aspects of football, where players compete on PlayStation, then on a 5 versus 5 football match, and the winner is determined by the aggregate scores. We are happy because this is an improvement from last time. This edition, players will be battling for a chance to get a ticket, for a fully facilitated ticket to Kazakhstan, where we shall be having the Games of the Future. The first edition, which we held in January, was successful, and our players who are with us here were able to get a ticket to Abu Dhabi, where they performed exemplary well. So we really appreciate 82 Sports for this sponsorship. It is testament to the growth of esports in the country. It's also testament to the efforts of the entire team at Esports Kenya Federation, and we can always assure our partners with Esports Kenya Federation, you are assured of transparency, accountability, and return on your investment.
It is in line with our initiative as 82 Sports to protect and
and develop grassroots initiatives. So we are happy to be sponsoring this second edition. It's the second edition in Kenya, and the last edition, the team that represented Kenya performed exemplary well. They were the best in Africa, and considering the motivation that we've added this year, the cash prizes, the winner will be taking home 70,000. So we expect the players to do very well in the continental, in the world stage that will be in Kazakhstan next year.
Very well, that Phygital football tournament news takes us to the tail end of this conversation. Thank you indeed so much for watching KBC Lunchtime News. On behalf of everyone who has made this broadcast a success, including my director, Jackie Wasolo, and the lovely lady on the bottom of your screen handling the sign language interpreter, Caro Njoroge. My name is Njue. More news in our subsequent bulletin, but don't forget to check out our social media spaces for this news plus much, much more. We're keeping tabs with what's happening around the country and beyond. Do have yourself a blessed afternoon.
Your shadow, your past, your present, and your future. Tubu.
Nishina shida manu.
Wamemnyima degree.
Tulia. Mungu atatupigania.
Lini mom?
Malizisha chai haraka utachelewa.
Nimefurahi Josh amerudi. Sasa fukuza shule tena.
Ni nini mbaya naye? Unataka kuniua?
Hii ni public place. Naweza kuingia na kutoka vile nataka.
Niko nataka kulia Robert.
Wow.
Can't you, like, try it on yourself first?
A doctor never treats himself. Don't you know that?
Captain! Honey, bring the satchel. Captain!
Captain!
What happened? Aortic dissection. Just came out of nowhere during class.
Ready for cutoff. Reduce flow. Reducing flow. Aortic cutoff. Resume flow. Resuming flow. It's under control. We've got him in intensive care now.
Dr. Ma, how is Jinxiang? Is he safe now?
What can I do for you? I'm Marcelo Escalante's mother. This is to teach you to stay away from an engaged man.
Who does she think she is? To come here to my house and yell at me?
Oh, please, don't be a hypocrite.
Since when did you care about me?
I can't stand this girl.
Don't you remember?
Remember what?
Oh, really? But don't you remember when Rodrigo ran away from the church and left Lucia there?
Hey, painting. What's your name thing? Unaweza risi tufanye some tasting. Na mimi chali straightforward, no dating. Semina jua mnapenda phony. Wewe akiwa lie. It's your boy Ndovu Cool, Mr. Akiwa lie. And you're watching Grapevine. Don't touch that. Wewe.
It is that time of the week where we get to let you know everything that has been happening, matters entertainment, and specifically when we talk about the events world. How are you?
That's what's up. Welcome to the biggest, the baddest entertainment show right here in the 254. Miss V, I want us to talk about something, you know. Social media has made us feel that there's always better on the other side. You see, you meet something that you like and you hardly take them serious because you think, oh, kuna ingine pale, better than what I have.
Yeah.
And like kitambo, man, yeah? Kitambo ukimitu mtu ama ukiona kitu yenye umependa, you take them serious because you're not even sure whether utawaona tena. You write letters, unafanya nini, but I mean,
saizi imekuwa ngumu.
Exactly.
Umepigwa
Why
character
that is?
Development.
Not really. Why are you flipping? Why are you flipping it on me again?
Nikana kijana amekaribishwa town. Ameambiwa karibu Nairobi.
No, man. But that's a reality check.
Yeah, but I get what you mean, you know. We always tend to think that the grass is always greener on the other side, whereas the reality is the grass is greener where you water it. So wherever it is that you are, the people you have in your life, just water that and let it be as green as you want it to be. That's the way to go.
Point blank, period.
Yeah. And right now, how about we get into the actual matters of this show? My name is Vivian Dago. You can simply just call me Miss V.
Jack Muller, the party daddy, or you can call me Papi.
And you know what this right here is?
Grapevine. All right, Wagwan, what's going on, man? We are right here at the Alchemist in the Westlands, where the first ever celebrity fight is happening right here in the 254, man. The last time we witnessed celebrity fight was in South Africa when the rapper Cash Panyoves was taking South African celebrity. Also, here in East Africa, tumeona the likes of Shakib from Uganda are fighting against, you know, Ugandan celebrity. But this one is the first ever celebrity fight in the 254. The icing on cake is Baraka Jacuzzi taking down the one and only actual Mulu. The big question is, who do you think is gonna win? Is it Baraka Jacuzzi or the actual Mulu? Without wasting time, let's go! Let's fight, baby!
History was made at the Alchemist as Kenya hosted its first ever celebrity fight night, a thrilling showdown where stars stepped out of the studio and into the boxing ring.
Step your ass up. What you wanna do? And get your ass knocked down. What you wanna do? Get ready. What you wanna do? 6 Mafia.
We may have missed the opening clash between Shak the Younging and M. Albi, blame it on Nairobi traffic, but the electric crowd made sure the energy never dipped. The vibe was pure adrenaline. Then came the hits, Munyaks from Brooklyn Boys versus Young Louie, both artists, both ready to settle the score.
Let's go! Yeah! We ain't playing, going down.
3 rounds of raw punches later, Young Louie walked away victorious, earning cheers, bragging rights, and promising a collab track with his rival after the fight. The tension spiked again as radio host Jeremy Wahome took on influencer Vic Max in a fiery face-off that turned personal first. Rounds in, the verdict was clear. Vic Max took the win by a unanimous decision.
The winner for this fight,
And then the main event, Baraka Jacuzzi versus Lumu, the fight everyone was waiting for. Lumu came in fierce, Baraka cool and calculated. After a near knockout in the first round, Barack flipped the script, dropping Lumu in the second and dominating the third. Victory was his by power and precision.
Hey guys, finally, let's get outside the ring, please. I need champion tonight, Barack.
Man, dude, it's a relief because there was a lot of talk on the internet said I was too pretty to fight. They said I wasn't going to win by physicality, let alone my natural genetics of good looks, and a whole bunch of rah-rah. So I'm happy to win, happy to prove people wrong. And I knew I was going to win, but now the outcome is income, so we good. Nah, I just stayed calm. I knew he was going to try to kill me straight out the gate. He said he was going to knock me out round one, so I knew round one he wanted to take my head off. And he did. He got me with like 1 or 2, but I stayed calm, recomposed myself, didn't listen to the crowd, and I just played my game. And he ended up gassing out. Second round, third round, he started gassing out, and I just got to get my shots off and get in there. He didn't even barely touch me after that, so yeah.
And just when you thought the drama was over, Barack dropped a challenge.
Glove up, man. Charisma. Come on, let's do it. Come on. Come on, let's do it.
Looks like the gloves are staying on and the show is just getting started. For the culture, the hits, and the hits, you know where to catch it. This is Grapevine.
I love boxing. Coming here today, I just came to support Barack. And yani mebamba mbaya.
From the boxing ring, allow me to take you to some glamour. I am talking about the Pulse Influencer Awards 2025. Yes, this is an awarding initiative. Just as the name suggests, it is all about awarding influencers from the 254. How about we go right there and check out how that went down.
November 7th, 2025, Nairobi stepped into a night of elegance and influence. Your favorite creators showed up in royal fashion, dripping in class, charisma, and content magic. The Pulse offices transformed into a royal courtyard of creativity as this year's Pulse Influencer Awards embrace the theme Royal Renaissance. Think Bridgerton, but make it Kenyan, bold, stylish, and unapologetically modern. Then came the big moments, celebrating Kenya's kings and queens of digital influence. From YouTube Influencer of the Year to TikTok Influencer of the Year to the people making a positive impact, and in a moment that lit up the stage, Dance Influencer of the Year, which went to the Mathare Kids. The awarding went on from Comedy Influencer of the Year, Instagram Influencer of the Year, Fashion Influencer of the Year, Campus Influencer of the Year, and Food Influencer of the Year, just to mention a few.
See, I don't fear nobody else except the one that gives me hell. I cannot lie, I can't deny, he's there.
And when it came to fashion, the crowns were clear. Roy Kanyi ruled as best dressed man of the night, while Kalondo Musimi stand as best dressed woman. 2 looks that stand heads and defined royal excellence.
I won the Media and Blogger Award, and I also won the Best Dress Award of the night, but I didn't know I was gonna win for the Media and Blogger Award. I just knew I was nominated, and why not? I was nominated, I was invited. I'm like, what is the worst that can happen?
From creativity to culture, laughter to legacy, the Pulse Influencer Awards 2025 was a celebration of Kenya's finest.
It's my first time to be nominated, so nasikia fiti sana. I was nominated in 2 categories: Campus Influence of the Year and Comedy Influence of the Year. I really wanted to win the Comedy Influencer of the Year, but maybe I was not the best man, but next year I'll win it, I swear.
This was Royal Renaissance. This was Pulse, where content meets culture and influence wears a crown.
Yeah, this is my first time kuwa nominated na win an award. And I'm so happy.
And nilisikia fiti because first of all I have the genuine fan. Kwa mafani yangu na nilijua hata ni disappoint. But so mafans wangu tafuteni passport, nitafute pesa tuende China to celebrate hii kikombe.
Kwa majina naitwa Choke Jingli aka Demodesin aka Handsome Boy. Nimekuwa nikizunguka ushago na kumbe awadi nafanyika Nairobi but niko ushago. But yeah, nimekuwa nikisukuma ijakuwa rahisi but tunashukuru God na to all my supporters na to Pulse. Thanks for awarding me this na yeah, hard work.
All right, congratulations to all the Pulse Awards winners, Manzia. And by the way, you may notice kitu Miss new kids are coming up on the block, yeah?
Yeah.
And you better be careful because, man, if you're not skilled enough, these people will surprise you, man.
Hi, Atana. Anyway, this is where we take a break. Don't go too far. We'll be back with more stories right here on Group 5.
Can't you, like, try it on yourself first?
A doctor never treats himself. Don't you know that?
Captain! Honey, bring the satchel. Captain! Captain!
What happened? Aortic dissection. Just came out of nowhere during class.
Ready for cutoff. Reduce flow. Reducing flow. Aortic cutoff. Resume flow. Resuming flow. It's under control. We've got him in intensive care now.
Dr. Ma, how is Jiqiang? Is he safe now?
Want to enjoy free-to-air digital TV with crystal clear quality? Here's how to get started with Signet. Step 1. If you have a smart TV, you're good to go. Next, connect the aerial to your TV. Now, do an auto search on your TV. Just follow the prompts on the screen. And that's it. You're now tuned in to Signet. Sit back and enjoy a wide range of free-to-air digital channels. For technical inquiries, call the Signet hotline on 0770 572 656.
All right, welcome back to the biggest, the baddest entertainment show right here in the 254, man. You already know it's that season of the year where, events after events. But again, wanga tuna, spare some time to interact with our amazing artists. And tonight on our Spotlight Artist, we feature the one and only Ndovu Niku. Let's check it out.
Ndovu Niku, OG, Tabidi wani juu, basi weka mkono juu. Hey, vile na bambam police wana ubaya. My name is Ndovu Ku, Akiwa Lai, aka Big Elephant, aka Akiwa Lai. Yeah. Kiitwa KU mtakata, hakunaga masomo KU mmekata, unapeleka mtoi first year introduction, baada ya wiki mbili ashajua reproduction. Ndovu Niku, tabidi wani juu. My struggles, my story, other people's stories as well. That's basically who I am. So I always say this. Now most people don't know I'm from another professional side. Professionally, I'm an aeronautical engineer. So I used to work at Wilson. COVID came, Nini, and then music became the thing that the fans showed me. As much as the job opportunities are closed for you, will embrace your music. And that's something I carry. Because I used to be in a very doubtful moment at that particular time. It's when you lose your job, bro, I don't know if you've ever gone through this. It's some kind of trauma. And it's crazy. So the fans just embracing me. Ndio nikasema Akiwa Lai. It means yes, indeed, When you're in doubt, go viral. I was doing music like 10 years prior to it. And that was just a defining moment for me, especially in the Kenyan music scene. Yeah, and working with big artists like Calligraph, Buttrus, it did it for me, you know.
Yes, you. Yeah, na pull up nangalia kalanguin kana fanyanga safcom liku kasiku lakini kombato ni custom penga nalia mi upenda vile una lap njo bajusitaki.
Because I believe I never want to be limited to any genre of music, actually. Because God gave me a gift in music, not any genre. So, nikimba, if I feel I want to do country music, ntaimba. If I feel I want to do reggae, I'll do soul, hip-hop, jazz, you know. And I believe it's only right to put yourself in those pockets as a creative. Country where both of the biggest spoken language in the world and the widest spoken language in Africa merge, which is Swahili and English. That should tell you something about the future of Kenyan music. Sheng is a language, but Sheng is Swahili, English, Swanglish, Sheng, you know. I believe, for me, I may be biased, but I believe that Sheng